finished the miniature filming. We were filming for about 2 months, which is crazy, I know. They film feature films in 2 months, but actually it's such a tedious work that we averaged at 1 shot per day. And all in all, we did about 40 VFX shots for Slice. As always, it was again filmed in the middle of the summer, so I apologize for some brief nudity. Today we are filming the shipyard scene. You can see we have the foreground arranged. We made it very muddy and dirty. The water was coming out of these pipes. The foreground is pretty detailed with lots of this junk and stuff. So then we have the second layer of the buildings. These are the cranes. We have the truck with some lights, and we just pull it with a string.
We filmed about, I guess, 13 passes for this specific shot. We're pretty satisfied with the outcome of the shot and with the look. It looks real and it looks pretty terrific.
So on the average we are doing 1 shot per day because these setups are extremely complex and it's hot, so we are probably less efficient than we would normally be. So yesterday we were filming 1 shot for the whole day. In the evening we connect all the passes together and we noticed that the passes are not aligning.
The whole shot from yesterday went down to the toilet, so we had to reshoot it today again.
We are not really sure why the passes are not aligning. It could be a number of different reasons. Maybe the slider moved, then again we could have moved some miniature by accident.
Never drink alcohol when you're filming miniatures because there's a pretty big chance you're gonna move a miniature, and that's very bad.
Yeah, it happened to me once or twice. We would always do a couple of beauty passes, a couple of fog passes, searchlights, and then for the miniature lights, we had to turn on all the lights on the buildings, film it, and then carefully turn them all off. And there's a lot of tiny buttons on the buildings that you have to press each time, and if you move only one building too much, that's it, you gotta start over. If you remember the back alley scene that we filmed, you can see the street is going into the distance and there's nothing there. It was shot that way because we intended to put the truck driving behind the street. So we built the city in the background, just a couple of buildings. We have a truck with the blinking lights. So that's what we are filming today. Yeah, okay, so we are filming the landing of the car on the platform.
The main difference which sets this shot apart from the others is that all the magic happens in this 1 shot. So no repeated passes. Everything happens right here.
Why?
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 No, you tell me why.
Yeah, because czekaj, I'll say what am I
Usually when we film city shots, the buildings are completely still, and that's why we can use motion control and film many passes. But here it has to land, and it's on fishing strings that, you know, we land it manually, and naturally we can't do 2 landings exactly the same, so...
Yeah.
And why are you all naked?
And the fishing string cut my hand, so I had to make a glove.
Can you show us how you operate?
Yes, it is very sophisticated.
How you operate your tool?
I try not to fall from the ladder, and then I pull it up, and then I slowly lower it down. Boom. And the trick about getting realistic car movement at such a small scale is you just repeat it 20 times until one take looks good. Apart from landings, we also did a couple of takeoffs. And we were doing it until in the end the fishing string snapped. Of course, the most important elements in the city shots are the ads, because they give color and movement to the city. And we designed, I don't know, like probably 50 different ads, I think. We had ads for banks, for food and drinks, for printing services, cars, all kinds of different companies, and we made them in different shapes to give it more diversity. And then they were projected on the buildings. For every shot we do, we have to carefully align the projector and project the ads. Sometimes we have 1 ad in the shot, but sometimes we have 3 or 4, so it's 3 or 4 more passes. When we film it for real, you can see the projection is falling over this texture, and also we use the shittiest projector we could find, so it has really bad resolution and it gives it this pixelated look. And then one day the time came to film the matte paintings. Stepan was painting them for like, I don't know, 2 months, and then we filmed one and it looked like crap. This can't go into the film. So we started thinking like, okay, what can we do to make them better, you know, to make them fit into the whole picture. And we realized that when we film miniatures, we always have volumetric light from the back. And here, since it's a 2D painting, we can't do that. We can't shine light from the back. On this matte painting, we want the light, the city light, to come from behind this building and, you know, shine through. So how do we block the building? Of course, we can easily do it in After Effects with just a mask, but we decided we're gonna do it the proper way, and we have a very good feeling about this. So first we trace the outline of the building, and now we gotta put the outline on the paper, trace it on the paper, and then slowly and carefully cut the paper out. So we even got the idea, why only do it in 2D, why only cut out the paper, if you can just glue random things on it and it will probably give it some more dimension. So yeah, we'll see how it works.
Yeah, also we could have finished last year with the film if we made it in 3D, but you know, practical work.
No, not 3D, not 3D. And basically this idea actually worked. And it was just what the matte paintings needed to come alive. So once we figured it out, we used the same technique on every painting. Again, tracing the outline, cutting the paper, gluing it on transparent glass at the same position where the building was, and shooting some light from the back. You didn't know, yeah. So now we are doing the most ridiculous thing of all. It's projecting the footage into the hole on the matte painting. We actually had this pre-recorded footage of the actor that we filmed way back, and it had to be inserted into a painting. And actually, this is the way how it was done in the past. This is very experimental for us. We are not sure if it's gonna work at all, but if it won't work, we're gonna do it digitally, of course, but we just wanted to try the effect to see if it's at least achievable. Sandrino is aligning the footage with the hole that we made in the painting. But wouldn't you know, it just worked perfectly. All it needed was a little bit of a contrast, and basically it looked like it's a part of a painting. I still can't believe that this actually worked. The thing is, not one shot was similar to the other. We always tried to find some interesting camera moves in the shots. Or we would just decide, oh, wouldn't it be cool to have little parked cars, you know, in the shot? So while Dino and me were setting up the shot, Sandrina would quickly build some stuff that we were missing. Sometimes the buildings are so densely arranged that we can't get the projector. We can't get the projector between them, so we gotta invent rigs like this. After we filmed all the shots, then the time came to fill them with traffic. And all these flying vehicles, like spaceships, were filmed separately. The hero car flies through almost every shot in the film, and it changes perspective when it flies, obviously. So we figured, let's put the car on the slider and program it so we could get all the angles we need. And other tricks like opening the doors of the car were done just with fishing string, because it works. Yeah, so this means that actually everything for Slice of Life is filmed, and we started work on the sound and music, and I'm actually pretty excited and can't wait to tell you more in the next the production diary.
Bang! There we go.
Buraz, imaš ti kaj para kod sebe? Dobro? Pa ne, zato kaj bi te žico, jel nam možeš kupiti neke baterije koje su u libu, a sutra ništa ne radi, jel nam trebaju za sutra za snimanje, a sutra je praznik. Pa bi nam, ako to možeš nabaviti, da bi nam mogao to dopeljati sutra.